Well, welcome back, everyone. Thanks for tuning in today. And with all the stuff going on the last couple of days, the riots, all the war, Iran, Israel stuff, the nuclear talks, there was a big theme, a big riddle going on behind the scenes. And it's about the destruction of bridges. And I'm going to go through this video, hopefully, very well so you guys can understand it. But thank you guys for watching as usual. Please hit that like buttons if you enjoy the content, and I appreciate you all. And with that, let's get into this. So, Tulsi Gabbard, who is the Director of National Intelligence, so very important, she has her Twitter, right, her X. And on June 10th, she posted a video talking about Hiroshima. And then, okay, so Tulsi was in the military. She was in the army, guys, okay? And so that's why she supposedly got moved up to this position. But notice she made a video about this, and she's talking about Hiroshima and all this stuff here. But then randomly, the video cuts to a scene of the Golden Gate Bridge. And just randomly, she's not talking about the Golden Gate Bridge, not one word about the Golden Gate Bridge. But randomly, the video cuts to a scene where a nuclear bomb explodes, and then the bridge blows at 2:01 as well, guys. You know the 2:01. Those of you in the community know about that. But look, 2:01, the bridge is exploding from the bomb. Now, why is this in there? Why this bridge? Why is she showing that? Okay. Another thing to know is that San Francisco, if you go, this is the plans for Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombing. But if you scroll down far enough on the Wikipedia, and it's a little ways down, guys. If you can, hold on, let me find it here. Hold on. Yeah, so right here, or not, it's up more. Right here. This is a document supposedly on August 6, 1945, the day of the bombing, from San Francisco. This was the strike order, which came from San Francisco. And this was on here. This was the strike order for Hiroshima. Okay? So there's your connection to San Francisco and the Golden Gate and this bombing, right? There's your just, without the numbers, there's your straight connection, okay? Now, she's posting this video with the bridge getting blown up and talking about Hiroshima. Well, her next post, she's being tagged about nuclear stuff. Somebody tagged her this. This isn't her post. But this guy is accusing her, assuring us that Iran wasn't pursuing a nuclear weapon. Okay, then there's that. But Tulsi's next post, after her post about, about the bridge, this bridge thing, was her post about the Army's 250th birthday yesterday on Trump's 79th birthday. Okay? So here's where the numbers are going to start coming in. She posts a video of the Golden Gate Bridge getting blown up, and then she posts something honoring the Army's 250. She puts the number right in the post. Okay? So how is this number going to connect to everything? Okay, let's get into it. So this is wild. So she posted this bridge thing on 6/10, and then she posted on 6/14, Trump's birthday, she posted about the 250th year of the Army. So those were her last two posts. Now, look what's happening in her post on June 10th. The Golden Gate Bridge is destroyed. Now, what's the gematria of Golden Gate Bridge destroyed? It equals 250. Also, if you take her full post, and again, I've proven this before, that these X posts, especially from government officials, are coded. If you take her full post, gematria it, in the same cipher as Golden Gate Bridge destroyed equals 250, her full post equals 2,250. Again, the way you say that number tells you that that's important, because the way that we speak that number, we say 2,250, like the number 250, okay? Then her next post she makes on here after this post was about the 250th birthday of the Army. Now, big shout out to this channel, 7154. He has a whole channel about the Golden Gate Bridge, a whole book about the Golden Gate Bridge, and all the predictive programming for a possible event there. So go check out his channel, 7154. Go check it out. Go read his book. He's got more information than I do even. But he found this. On the day that Tulsi posted about the 250 Army thing, and she was in the Army. Don't forget that, guys. She was in the Army, too. So she's actually connected to the Army. But that was the military's 250th birthday and Trump's 79th. Well, in Gematria, the word bridge collapse equals 250 and 79, like the two ages of these two things, okay? And if you combine that with her post equaling 2,250 and the Gematria of Golden Gate Bridge destroyed equals 250, you're left with a pretty compelling riddle, right? Now, what's the chance that if you go back just hours before she posted this, she was 2,250 days after her birthday? Not her initial birth, but if you go back 2,250 days, remember her post in this post equaled 2,250. If you go back that amount of days from the post, it lands on her birthday. I mean, technically it lands just hours before she posted it. She posted this in the early hours of June 10th, but in some parts of the world, I think like Hawaii, it was still June 9th. Okay. So it was 2,250 days from her birthday in 2019, and her gematria of this post equals 2,250. Okay. And the number 2,250 is a anagram of the year 2025. Just look at it, 2025. Okay. And she posted this in 2025. So how crazy is that? Now, we need to lay out all these events. We're going to talk about all these events here. We're going to talk about the post that she made on June 10th, the military birthday and Trump's birthday on June 14th, the attack on Pearl Harbor. Now, why are we going to talk about Pearl Harbor? Because Pearl Harbor is connected to Hiroshima. Pearl Harbor was the attack by Japan on Hawaii, where Tulsi Gabbard is from, where she grew up at least, supposedly. And Hiroshima was the attack by the United States in retaliation for Pearl Harbor. These two events are connected, and they're both connected with this post. And also what we're going to talk about is what happened the same day as Trump's birthday and the day of this military parade was the death of Melissa Hortman and how this connects to the bridge. Okay, so we're going to talk about all these different things and bring them together. So first of all, you need to know that Tulsi Gabbard was appointed by Trump this year to be the Director of National Security or National Intelligence. Now, if you go to the Director of National Intelligence page, this page is very connected to 9/11. Remember, this position was created in 2004 during George W. Bush's term, and he was the president during 9/11. Well, if you go scroll down further, you're going to see that this founding of this position that Tulsi Gabbard holds comes from the 9/11 Commission. Okay? Now, the 9/11 Commission, you immediately think 9/11. Well, the name of the position in Jewish or Latin gematria, Director of National Intelligence, equals 9/11. Okay? Now, remember, 9/11 was an event that was supposedly an attack on the United States that got us involved in a war, just like Pearl Harbor. And again, this woman has that connection to Hawaii, where Pearl Harbor happened. She has that connection to the U.S. Army, which connects us back to all this. And she has the connection to the 9/11 because she's the Director of National Intelligence, which came from 9/11, and the position equals 9/11. So the theory is that this will lead, that the Golden Gate Bridge attack will be another event that will lead the United States into a war. Do you guys get it? That's the premise here of this video, is this going to be a repeat of some sort of an attack on the United States, on the bridge, that's going to force the United States to get involved, really involved in a war? Because right now we're kind of out of it, right? And the things are building around the world, just like in World War II. But is there going to be an event that brings us into the war? And is it going to involve the Golden Gate Bridge? Okay. Or is it not? Maybe it will be somewhere else, but maybe the Golden Gate Bridge means something with the money system. Money is gold, right? So we're not just saying it could be just a physical bridge connection. There's other things that are possible here too. But the point is, Tulsi Gabbard, her position equals 9/11. She's from Hawaii. That connects to Pearl Harbor. Okay. Now look at this. When Tulsi Gabbard made this post on June 10th, 2025, she was 44 years old. Not exactly, but she was 44 years old when she made this post. Okay. And in Gematria, Tulsi Gabbard equals 44. Okay. In the same cipher as nuclear war. And this, obviously, this post that she made was about nuclear war. But not only that, guys, nuclear war is a 2 cipher match, 116 and 44, with Tulsi Gabbard. Now, what's up with the 116? Well, look at when she was born, guys. April 12, 1981. If you add the numerology of that date, 4 plus 12 plus 19 plus 81, it's 116. She was born 116 days before the anniversary that year of Hiroshima, and she just made a video about Hiroshima. So she was born on 116 date numerology, 116 days before Hiroshima's anniversary. Her name equals 116, and that equals nuclear war 116. And she just posted a video about Hiroshima where the Golden Gate Bridge is bombed, and if you type in Golden Gate Bridge bombing, it equals 116, like her name and like nuclear war. And again, she's born on the 116 numerology, 116 days before Hiroshima. So if you think that's, I'll let you guys decide if you think that's an impossibility, but seems pretty perfect. Now, we got to go talk about the 79 because this all connects back to gold and the number 79 and Donald Trump. Remember, Donald Trump had his 79th birthday and a military parade on that day, okay? And remember, Tulsi Gabbard was in the army, okay? Well, Tulsi Gabbard, Donald Trump, he's 79, and we're talking about the Golden Gate Bridge, gold. Trump just turned 79. Gold is the 79th element. Trump's been saying there's going to be a gold in age, okay? Gold is 79. That's why the 79 is so important with the gold. That's why the Golden Gate Bridge is connected. Gold, okay? Now, from the actual bombing of Hiroshima to Tulsi Gabbard's post on June 10th was 79, like gold, 44 weeks exactly from Hiroshima. Gold and 44. Now, they say the Hiroshima bomb happened at 8:15 and it took 44.4 seconds to hit the ground. You see this? Well, in Gematria, nuclear equals 444. What's the chance that this nuclear bomb, the first one dropped, took 44.4 seconds to fall? That's what they're saying. And the word nuclear equals 444. So that brings us to the next measurement. If you go from the Hiroshima bombing to Trump's birthday, his 79th, it was 79 years, 444, 44 weeks, 4 days, 444, like nuclear. Like the bomb took 44.4 seconds to fall. And if you combine the two cities, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, in Jewish or Latin gematria, it also equals 444. Okay? She posted this 4 days after the 44-week, right? So it's all about the fours, okay? And the 79s, right? Because it's 79 is gold, 44 is nuclear, okay? And they even tell you here that the 444 is important, okay? Now, the 79 again. There's a 79 connection to all these events because the day that the bridge construction ended on the bridge, the Golden Gate, was 79 date numerology. What does that mean? It just means you add the date up, the numerology of the date. 4 April 19th, 1937 adds up to 79. Okay. The same thing for Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor was 12/7/1941, which equals 79. And the Hiroshima bombing was on 8/6, but if you go just one day after 8/6, again, this is the rule of Colel. The one can come and go as it please. Read about that, guys. The rule of Colel. Anything that's one off can be, it's the rule of Colel, okay? But anyway, one day after the Hiroshima bombing was 8/7/1945. That had 79 date numerology. So all these events seem to be also tied in the numerology to the number 79, okay? And Trump just turned 79. Now, the next number we need to talk about is May 27th, or the number 527. That's the day the Golden Gate Bridge opened, 527. Now, there's two connections to connect 527 to 427. So 527, May 27th, is 4 months and 27 days into a year, every year. 4 months, 27 days into the year is 527. Also, in mathematics, the number 527 is the 427th composite number, any number that's not a prime. So there's two ways you can get from 527 to 427. Now, the way I wrote this out, I hope you guys are following. Notice that the 27s are repeaters, okay? You got the 527 translates to 4 months 27, but you're left with a random 4 there, right? You got the 27s on either side, but you're left with a random 4 and 527, right? So it's 4 digits, 527, 4275, basically. Now, this is important because all the measurements of this woman's life are going to, and all these events are going to connect with these 4 numbers. Let me show you. First, when Tulsi Gabbard took over office this year as the Director of National Intelligence, she was exactly 526 months old. Now, that's important because as soon as you complete your 526th month, it means that she was in the very first day of her 527th month. Okay? And again, I told you that's a huge number connected to the bridge. She's posting a video about the bridge. And look at the Gematria. In reverse Gematria, destruction of the Golden Gate Bridge equals 527. She was starting her 527th month when she took over this year of her life. On top of that, from the day of Pearl Harbor in her country where she grew up, Hawaii, to the day she was born, exactly 526 moon sidereal months. So we're measuring with the moon. If you guys are confused by this, go back and watch my old videos of why we also measure with the moon. But 526 exactly, no extra days. That means she was starting her 527th moon since she was born. Or no, that means she was born 527, exactly 526, which is the beginning of the 527th moon after Pearl Harbor. And again, destruction of the Golden Gate Bridge, 527, okay? Now, here's where it just blows your mind, right? Because let me just show you how all these events have the connection to these 4 digits that I revealed to you 2 slides ago. Again, 527 is 427 composite. You're left with a random 4 here, a lonely 4, right? Well, let's show how all that works, okay? So from her post this month on 6/10 to the next Pearl Harbor Day this year, 5 months, 27 days. Again. Now, from the bridge opening, the actual date of the Golden Gate Bridge opening on 5/27/37 to the actual Pearl Harbor event, 4 years, 27 weeks, 5 days. 5/27. You get basically the day May 27th backwards and the extra 4. Okay? Now, if you do the same from the Golden Gate Bridge opening to the Hiroshima bombing, which she put in her video, it's also the same digits, 4/27 weeks, 5 days. The same digits from the bridge opening to Pearl Harbor. Now, if you go from the bridge construction on the bridge being finished to her birth, her actual birth, it's 5/27/4. Do you guys see how every single one of these? And just one last one. If you go from Pearl Harbor event in her home state to her birth, her actual birth, 472 months, 5 days. If you read that backwards, guys, if you read it like we read a book, it's 5/27/4. 5/27/4. 5/27/4. 5/27/4. And she posted this video 4 days before Trump's birthday. Again, I think that's also why the 4 is important. They're coding the 4s in because remember, nuclear equals 444. All that stuff I showed you. So you got the 5/27 and the extra 4. And all these dates combined, all these dates are perfectly, and just go try to measure between any other random dates, guys, and see how many times you come up with these 4 digits. And I'll guarantee you it's not going to be very often. Especially not when you're talking about events that are truly connected and they're all coming out to the same numbers, okay? Now, we got confirmation of a connection to the Golden Gate Bridge on the day of Trump's birthday. Remember, she posted this post on June 10th, and 4 days later, Trump's birthday, right? Well, on Trump's birthday, the biggest story that was happening and the biggest death that day was on Trump's birthday in the military parade. A lawmaker, Melissa Hortman from Minnesota, was killed, and she just happens to have the birthday of the Golden Gate Bridge, 5/27/4. in 1970. You see the 1970 there, guys? Well, gold, the gold atomic weight is 197, approximately 197. So that's also connected to the gold. So she was born in 1970. But the most important thing is she was born on the same day as the Golden Gate Bridge opened. And not only that, guys, she was born 33 years exactly after the bridge opened. And then she dies on Trump's birthday, his 79th, like gold's the 79th element, right? So that connects us perfectly to that day, and the biggest death on that day, the woman that died, she has the same birthday, once again pointing us back to the Golden Gate Bridge. Okay? And the 33 years, of course, you guys know that number. So not only that, if you go from her birthday this year, her last birthday alive, which was also the Golden Gate's 88th birthday, it's 27 weeks and 5 days to the anniversary of Pearl Harbor, which I already showed all these other connections here. But now if you go from 5/27, her birthday, her last birthday, it's 27 weeks, 5 days. Again, encoding those numbers. Also, when Tulsi Gabbard posted 610 on the post about the bridge, it was on the date June 10th, which is 610. And whenever you measure 27 weeks and 5 days, like it is from Melissa Hortman's birthday and Golden Gate birthday to Pearl Harbor Day, 27 weeks and 5 days is also 6 months and 10 days, which encodes the date that Tulsi Gabbard posted this bridge getting destroyed, okay? So anytime you measure 27/5, like the date of the bridge opening, it's 6 months, 10 days, like the date she posted the bridge being destroyed, okay? Now, just a reminder, we're going to go back to the 250 and the 79, because this is Tulsi Gabbard posted about the 250 military anniversary on Trump's 79th birthday. Her post sums to 2,250, and the same cipher is Golden Gate Bridge destroyed equals 250, okay? So 250 and 79, keep those numbers in mind. Because this is we're going to look forward. Again, I'm not making any predictions. I'm just giving you guys a high watch date for something connected to this riddle. It doesn't have to even be a bridge attack. It could be something with the money, because gold is connected to money. Maybe the financial system collapses that day. Maybe there is an attack on the bridge, or maybe something with Trump. I don't know. But the date we're going to look to is September 7th, 2025. So let me explain how this date lines with all the numbers that we talk about here. So first of all, the day is, in most of the world, this date is written 7/9. And again, Trump's 79th birthday and bridge collapse equals 79, okay? Not only that, September 7th is the 250th day of the year. Remember, the military celebrated their 250th birthday the day Trump celebrated his 79th birthday. Okay, so we're 2 for 2 there. This day literally perfectly codes the 250 and the 79, okay? And this is a blood moon, guys. This is the day of our second blood moon of 2025. The first one was on Pi Day. This blood moon will be happening in what they call Lunar Saros 128. And if you guys remember, okay, the bridge collapse in Baltimore, Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed at 128, and bridge collapse equals 128. So all three of the numbers for bridge collapse are encoded in the date September 7th. Do you guys see this? It's 9/7 the date, or 7/9 the date, the 128 lunar blood moon, part of the 128 cycle, and it's the 250 day of the year. Those are all three of the numbers in bridge collapse: 128, 250, 79. Okay? And if you go from the post by Tulsi on June 10th to this date, September 7th, it's 89 days. And if you go from Trump's birthday, the 250th anniversary, and the 79th birthday of Trump, that's 86 days. Well, Tulsi posted about the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So from her post to the blood moon, 89 days, like the bombing of Nagasaki was on 8/9. And from Trump's birthday to the blood moon, 86 days, and the bombing of Hiroshima was on 8/6. So the distance between the post and Trump's birthday encode the 8/9 and the 8/6, which is the dates of the two bombings, okay? Now, remember, I did a video back in March, on March 20th, about a weird article that was posted that said 68 bridges in the US need to be evaluated for risk of collapse. This was on March 20th. Okay. This was on the 79th day of the year, guys. 79th day of the year, they posted this. Okay. This whole video was connected to the 79, the gold, right? Trump's 79th birthday. All these dates had the 79 numerology. So when they posted an article about risk of bridge collapses, it was on the 79th day of the year this year. Now, the article mentions 68 bridges that need to be assessed. Well, that numerology of the day they posted this was 68. So now not only do you have your 79 day of the year, the numerology of the date of the 68 bridges was 68. And if you went from this post to the birthday this year, May 27th of the Golden Gate Bridge, it was 68 days. So they posted an article about 68 bridges at risk on 68 date numerology, 68 days before the Golden Gate Bridge birthday, the 88th birthday, which is already passed now. But May 27th, right, was 68 days later. Now, remember, that 68 date numerology is all about war. World War I started on this 68 numerology. World War II started on this 68 numerology. Ukraine war started on this 68 numerology. Well, if you go to this month's 68 numerology, which I've already talked about this date, June 17th is a watch date for something because it's the next date that has 68 numerology. And how many days is in between this post about the bridges, the 68 bridges on 68 date numerology? How many days is in between? 89 days. And 89 is an 86 flipped upside down. Okay. And I made a whole video about this in March. 86, 89, 68, right? So this is another high watch day. It's a Tuesday, the day of Mars, the day of war. It's 68, the war code. It's also the 168th day of the year. It's the 197 days left, which is the goal on the periodic table. So this is the high watch date that's coming up in just a few days. Okay. But yeah, guys, from everything I showed you here, it's pretty crazy that all this lined up like it did. And again, I've been covering this for a while now. Make sure you guys go check out this channel, 7154. Okay. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please hit those likes on the way out. And I will see you guys very, very soon in the next video. Take care.